Well, it's official, MJ fam. We finally have the letter. The feds have released the MJ documents relating to MJ rescheduling and the recommendation of Schedule 3 from HHS. We're going to take a look at all of that and more. And spoiler alert, it is because it has medical value. Surprise, surprise. This is something we all knew from the get-go. We all know that it's medicine of the future, and it 1000% has medical value. And this is a great day. Happy Friday. It's January 12th. I wish you nothing but an amazing weekend ahead, and what better way to start the weekend than all of this bullish news. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As I mentioned, feds finally released the rescheduling letter, and we knew it was heavily redacted, and there was tons of FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests, and a lawsuit, and they finally capitulated. So we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. Make sure to follow us over on X as well, which is formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. I also shared it on there, but you can see here, this is the article from MJ Moment. Feds release MJ documents confirming Schedule 3 recommendation based on accepted medical use. There you go. We have it. But there's confirmation that it has medical use. And I just want to say shout out to all of the MJ enthusiasts who got this across the finish line. You know, the Attorney Zorn and all these attorneys, all of the MJ activists, everybody who's making their voices heard, all the people that are reaching out to their elected representatives and their senators and any people in Congress, that let them know that we need to make our voices heard. They work for the people, not the other way around. They don't tell us what is, you know, the lay of the land, right? They work for us, and they should give the people what they want, and the people have spoken, right? Look at Canada. We're over 5 years legal here at the recreational level, and I can guarantee you within 5 to 10 years, the US is going to follow suit as well. Hopefully it's quicker than that, but we're finally starting to see reform. We're finally starting to see the Biden administration and the Dems come through with their promises, and they're kind of just preaching to the choir at this point. They're telling us all of this stuff that we already know, right? Quite frankly, us as retail investors and MJ enthusiasts, we probably know more than these elected officials and people in Congress, right? Because they've got so many other things on their plate. But, as users, as MJ advocates, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is medicine of the future. This is the best plant and medicine. This is going to be an amazing industry, and I'm so grateful here and proud of everybody who helped get this across the finish line and continues to make MJ prohibition go away and make this plant recognized and give it the praise and the attention and the honor that it deserves. Because, like I said, this is truly an amazing plant, and I've never been more excited, very grateful and humble, and just I love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. And like I said, kudos and shout out to everybody who helped get this across the finish line, all of the attorneys and all of the advocates. And like I said, just truly something to behold and watch this industry flourish and all come together as one big happy family, right? So what a great way to start the weekend. But the U.S. government has released hundreds of pages of documents related to its ongoing review of MJ's status under federal law, officially confirming for the first time that health officials have recommended the DEA place the substance in Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act, CSA. The 252 pages of documents explain that MJ has currently accepted medical use in treatment in the United States and has a potential for abuse less than the drugs or other substances in Schedule 1 and 2. Federal health officials said that they conducted an analysis that found more than 30,000 healthcare professionals across 43 U.S. jurisdictions are authorized to recommend the medical use of MJ for more than 6 million registered patients for at least 15 medical conditions. What's that? People were skeptical about medical value? Just a day after a government lawyer said the documents would be released in their entirety, officials transmitted them to attorney Matt Zorn, who had sued the government over the Freedom of Information Act FOIA request to obtain them. Zorn posted an image to his On Drugs blog on Friday of the letter to the DEA Director Ann Milgram, in which the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health writes that MJ meets the findings for control in Schedule 3 set forth in 21 USC 812b3. And there's the letter there. And then if you scroll down, I'll place this in the description below. So let's get all the sleuths out there. Let's inspect this as best we can. Hopefully I'll have time over the weekend to really go dissect this and dive into it, but 252 lengthy pages. So there's going to be a lot to look through here. And I mean, most of it will probably leave up to the lawyers and attorneys, right, that kind of understand this jargon and this legalese as it were. But hopefully as a community, we can go through it as well, and maybe we can find something as well that can help, just overall, whether it be see something that wasn't in light before, help something come to light that might help us understand where things are going. But this is great because it gives us insight into what HHS is thinking and the likelihood of the DEA passing it. And I would say the chances of this just skyrocketed, right? I would say it's 80 to 90% plus chance that we're going to get rescheduling recommended and approved by the DEA to Schedule 3. I think it's going to happen sometime between now and May, and then there'll be that 60-day comment period, and then it'll be concluded right before the elections, and then I think it's going to be enacted in 2025. So there's a difference between the DEA coming out with a decision and then it actually getting enacted and signed into law, right? So I think the decision could come out some point in Q1, Q2 of this year, and then be enacted in 2025 or shortly after the U.S. elections here in November. But like I said, the massive article is going to be in that article here from MJ Moment, the massive document there, 252 pages. Leafly also reported on it as well. U.S. Health Agency makes history and admits that MJ has medical use. So MJ has medical use and is less addictive than comparable drugs, as U.S. Health Agency admitted for likely the first time today in newly released documents published on Substack, X, and MJ Moment. The long march to federal legalization took another step forward with the publication of the document from the United States Health and Human Services Agency, HHS. According to documents released under the Freedom of Information Act by Matt Zorn, the U.S. HHS has recommended that the Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, on August 23rd, that MJ be ranked on the government's list of dangerous drugs down from its number 1 spot alongside heroin to number 3, set alongside the tranquilizer ketamine or the painkiller codeine. This process of re-ranking is called rescheduling. MJ has been a Schedule 1 drug since it was placed there in the 70s over the opinions of experts. Well, I don't know how they consider themselves experts, because I don't consider myself a medical expert, and I could have told you, I'm pretty sure a monkey could tell you that MJ has medical value. So I question this quote-unquote experts. Today, over 90% of Americans support medical legalization of MJ. Again, give the people what they want. On October 6, President Biden had urged the HHS to review MJ rescheduling, resulting in the August recommendation to the DOJ. The DEA has not stated when it will respond to HHS's recommendation. So again, we don't have any clear proof as to when it will be, but all signs are pointing to any month now. I think it's going to be, I've been saying this for many months now, that it's probably going to be, we're probably going to get the DEA decision at some point in the next month or two, in Q1 or Q2 of this year. And then there'll be a 60-day comment period. I think there's a very high probability that it's going to happen around April of this year. And imagine the mass marketing with regards to 420 and everything. We could see Florida on the ballot. The Florida Supreme Court's expecting a ruling by April 1st. And then Germany coming online really any month as well. So all of these catalysts could string together nicely in Q1, Q2 of this year. And then I think Florida and rescheduling would get enacted later on toward the end of the elections or the beginning part of 2025. But like I said, this is a huge win for the industry, for the medicine of the future sector. And I'm just, like I said, never been more humbled, never been more proud, never been more grateful to be alive and experiencing this amazing journey with all of you. And I'm looking forward to the months and the days, weeks, months ahead, years ahead, decades ahead. I'm going to be here making videos as long as I'm alive. And like I said, I really do appreciate all of your support. I love each and every one of you. And kudos to everybody that helped get this across the finish line. But don't sit back. Don't let your foot off the gas, because we still got a lot of work to do. All right, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next video.